For winter reds, you have the usual suspects for wines. It's not just a line from Casablanca or the name of a movie. The usual suspects are Cab, Merlot, Syrah, and Malbec. Well, what we have here, with one possible exception, are the unusual suspects for red wine. The first wine that we have is closest to the usual suspects. It's a red blend from Washington State that's 65% Merlot. This is by North Star Winery. This is a blended wine that's Merlot, Cabernet, Syrah, Petit Verdot, and Cab Franc. And North Star is a winery started by Chateau Ste. Michelle to showcase the best Merlot in Washington. They basically draw from the finest 2% of the vineyard sources of Washington to make this wine. So this is probably closest to a usual suspect, a big fruity American red wine from Washington. The second wine that we have is Domaine Cabri, which is from the south of France, right near the Spanish border. This is a blend of Grenache, Syrah, and Carignan. The vineyard is owned by a wine importer who, after importing wine for 27 years, took the plunge and bought a vineyard. This is a big, fruity wine. It's very, very comparable to Chateau Neuf du Pape, but much, much less expensive and real fruity, but hearty and rich and deep. Then what we have is a Barbera from the Piedmont in Italy. Barbera is the wine that the winemakers drink. It's a real great food wine because it has much more acidity than almost any red wine, and that causes it to hold up real well and to stand up to lots of food. This is a great producer. Spaghetti has won more Tribecaries than all but two producers in Italy, and Tribecaries are only awarded to less than 2% of the wines ever tasted. And then we have something else that's very unusual. This is an Italian wine from Sardinia. And Sardinia, and here this wine is Grenache, old vine Grenache, 60-year-old vines from Sardinia. And so, Grenache is the third most planted red wine grape in the world, after Merlot and Cabernet, and it's really only grown in two places, Spain and France. There's a little bit in Italy, there's a little bit in Australia, and a tiny bit in the United States. But it makes really nice, soft, fruity red wines that, if the vines are old, can be really big and concentrated to stand up to stews and pot roasts and hearty foods that you're going to have in the winter. And the final wine is from Spain. This is Solara. This is a custom cuvee by the importer. It's Monastrell, Grenache, and Cabernet. This was awarded 94 points from the Wine Advocate, which is the most prestigious and popular wine rating magazine in the world. 94 points is very, very unusual for a wine that's going to retail for less than $20 a bottle. So this is a rare opportunity to take a really high-scoring wine and get change back from your 20. You know, that doesn't happen very often, and it's a real opportunity to do it, and it's a big wine, got a lot of pepper on the finish, and it's just, I just sold this to one of my best customers. She was having lamb patties, and I just thought this would be great with that. So these are some unusual wines for winter, and something to diversify you from the usual suspects of Cab, Merlot, Syrah, and Malbec. Admittedly, one of the wines is mostly Merlot, but other than that, different wines to broaden the palate and try something different, you know, for the winter.